You're watching Channel 22, Lawndale's community cable television for the South Bay.
You are watching Lawndale Community Cable Channel 22, and this is the semifinal round of the CIF Southern Section Division II playoffs. Tonight from Holmes Memorial Stadium in Diamond Bar, California, it's the Leuzinger High School Olympians taking on the Diamond Bar High School Brahmas in the semifinal round of the CIF Division II Southern Section for the right to go to the CIF Southern Section Division II Championship. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be viewing this telecast. This is Dave Marks. I will be joined by Rufus Washington and by Ken Fine on the sidelines tonight. This is a beautiful facility here in Diamond Bar, but it is going to be a hostile facility of sorts tonight for the Leuzinger Olympians. Leuzinger Olympians got to this position by finishing second in the Bay League. They are 10-2 overall. They won their playoff games in the first round. They beat Glendora in round number one. Last week at Olympian Field, they defeated Dominguez 38-28. Diamond Bar is the defending champion in Division II. They beat Chino last year to win the championship. They're 2-0 in postseason. They defeated Claremont 38-3. And last week, they had a big victory at home against Santa Barbara. And they kick off here. Leuzinger kicks off, and it'll be the Diamond Bar Brahmins running it back. And running it back and being hit is Roderick Fields. Roderick Fields, the ball carrier for Diamond Bar. As we are underway, Leuzinger won the toss. They elected to kick off, so Coach Don Markham and Leuzinger electing to show some confidence in his defense by the fact that he kicks off. And it'll be 1st and 10. Ball will be placed on about the 37-yard line. Diamond Bar in the dark uniforms have moved from right to left across your TV screen. You're looking at Ryan Main, the 11th grader. He was not the regular starter on the year as he throws back here to Jason Wright. Jason Wright trying to get to the outside, and he's going to get very short yardage, if that at all, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. For the Diamond Bar Brahmins, it is the Wright brothers offense, as they call it. Jason Wright and Dwight Wright. They are not brothers, but they are the two big keys in the backfield. Jason Wright, who carried for the first time. Dwight Wright, who is basically the other back in the offense. They're lined up in the I formation here right now with Ryan Main in at quarterback. They give to the up back, and he'll peel off and get about 1 yard. Not much gain on the play as the Leuzinger defense is there for the stop, and it'll bring up a 3rd and long situation. Leuzinger Olympians are playing here in Diamond Bar tonight due to the fact that they did not win a coin toss last week. There was a coin toss in the CIF Southern Section office to determine what team would get a chance to play at home. Had Leuzinger won the coin toss, they would have probably played this ball game at El Camino College, but instead they're playing it here at this very good facility. 3rd down at 6 for Diamond Bar. First offensive play of the night. Main going to fake the handoff. He'll give it to Wright. Wright looking for running room, not going to get it. And the Leuzinger Olympians on the first offensive possession for Diamond Bar have held. And it's going to bring up a 4th down and about 5. Ball on the 41. And they will have to drop back in punt formation. This is a beautiful facility here that this ball game is being played in. It's a facility that has been built up over the years. And you'll get some nice, impressive shots of this facility as the night goes on. Punt upcoming. Gets it off the side of a foot, but a good punt. Bell is going to have to drop back. Not able to field it. And the ball will be downed deep in Leuzinger territory at about the 5-yard line. That ball came close to hitting Donald Bell, but it's recovered there by C.J. Johnson. And Leuzinger is going to put the ball in play 1st and 10 at about their own 5-yard line. So they'll go on offense for the first time here tonight at the 10:03 mark of the first quarter. Well, for people who have followed Leuzinger football throughout the years, the last time they won a championship back in 1985, and who would have thought last year, off of last year's 3-7 regular season record, that they would be just one ball game away from going to the championship game this year. But they have a big ball game to get through tonight, and they're going to go on offense for the first time. Shaz Foster will be at the quarterback position. He ran that option fairly effectively against Dominguez last week. 1st and 10. They give it to Charles. Charles trying to get to the outside, not much running room. And he's going to pick up maybe a yard on the play. Darnell Charles, the ball carrier, about a half a step. It should be 2nd and 9. If you've been following Leuzinger football, you know that Terry and Fontenot and Darnell Charles are the 2 main ball carriers. They do the bulk of the work. They will sometimes go to Tavita McCollough at the fullback position. Sometimes Elias Ellis. And they're pushed back into a bad situation here. It was a good punt that Bell was not able to field. So they're going to have it in the shadow of their end zone. 2nd down at about 9.5, 10 to go. Foster at quarterback. Leuzinger in the white going from left to right across your screen. Now we get whistles on the play. And it's going to be delay of game charge against the Leuzinger Olympians. That'll back them up half the distance. The officials for tonight's game are from a neutral conference. In postseason, you are not allowed to have officials from your own conference. They want to kind of keep it even, so they come from a neutral conference tonight. These officials are from Orange County, we are told. As you know, Leuzinger comes from the Bay League and Diamond Bar from the Sierra League. Diamond Bar finished number 1 in the Sierra League. Leuzinger finished number 2 in the Bay League to Peninsula. 2nd down and long. Fontenot going in motion. And they give to Fontenot. Fontenot looking for some holes. And he's going to get it out to about the 7-yard line, it appears. And Fontenot is brought down by Williams on the tackle. It'll bring up about a 3rd. And they'll say 12 with the ball on the 6-yard line. 8:50 to go in this first quarter. Diamond Bar, defending champs of Division II, against the Leuzinger Olympians with the right to go to the championship. It's a passing situation. We'll see if they try to put it in the air. They're going to go to the option, and this time it's met. They went to that option play last week quite effectively against Dominguez, but this time the linebackers stayed home and right there to meet it. And you have to know that if Terry Roche, the head coach of Diamond Bar, saw the film of last week's Leuzinger-Dominguez ball game, you know if there's one thing that they stressed is that they were going to look for that play. They're going to look for the option, and right now, on the 4th and 3 situation, they are not punting. Now this is a gutsy call. Unless they intend to call, well, did they draw someone offside? They may have. They may have drawn Diamond Bar offside. How about that? It was definitely 4th and less than 5. It was about 4th and 3, and they have drawn the Diamond Bar Brahmins offside. Well, to go for it on 4th down and long in a playoff game this deep in the season, way that deep in your territory, takes a lot of guts, but give some credit to the Leuzinger coaching staff, feeling that they were able to draw them offside, and they did, and that gets them a 1st down out to the 16-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Leuzinger Olympians. There's Darnell Charles. Little room to the outside. Still on his feet, and it's a good run for Darnell Charles as he takes it to the outside. And last week in the win against Dominguez in the 2nd round, that they were very effective getting to the outside quite a bit. It was running up the middle that they had some problems. Only the running of Shaz Foster was effective up the middle. This time the outside run gets them about 4 yards. It'll bring up about a 2nd and 6.5 or so to go outside the 20. 7:19 to go in this first quarter. Shaz Foster in there at QB. Fontenot in the wing, goes in motion. Now he's going to take it. There's Foster. Foster to the outside. That play worked well last week, and they get it again. And they're close to a 1st down. They may have it. It's 1st down, Leuzinger Olympians, as the drive continues. This drive starting on a long punt that Donald Bell was not able to field. Came close to hitting him. Had the ball hit him on that punt and had been recovered by Diamond Bar. They would have had it first and goal inside the 10. Leuzinger picked the ball up on about the 4-yard line. Looked like they were in a punting situation. They elected to go for it, and they drew Diamond Bar offside, and as a result, the drive has continued. First and 10. There's Fontenot. Fontenot hit close to the line of scrimmage. Going to get a very short gain on the play. Terrian Fontenot, the senior. He's had a fine year, been a durable back, been used in passing situations on occasion, caught a big reception in the opening round playoff win at Glendora over at Citrus College. See on the far side of the field, those are the Diamond Bar Brahmas fans that are making their way in here. Second down at about 9 to go. Jazz Foster, number 5, in there at QB. Give to Fontenot. Coming up from the outside, he eludes a rush and is going to get some big yards. Well, Dominic Robinson came up from the defensive back position, almost got Fontenot, but Fontenot able to elude him, gave him the slip. And Therian Fontenot picks up good yardage. It'll be about a 3rd and 1. Ball's going to be a little bit shy of the 40-yard line. It'll be about the 37-yard line as Fontenot cuts back to the inside, and that's where he picked up that extra yardage. And here's another big 3rd down play. Fontenot going in motion. And they give it on the inside, and there's Ellis. Ellis breaking into the clear, and he's got a first down. Elias Ellis broke into the clear, took the handoff. First down for Leuzinger. He's got it at about the 46-yard line of the Diamond Bar Brahmas. First and 10, 5:17 to go in the first quarter. The drive continues. Elias Ellis, he's the 11th grader, 6 feet, 200 pounds. Good fake that time by Shaz Foster. Fake able to slow up the lineman, and Ellis does the rest of it on his own, getting into the secondary. First and 10. There's Charles. Charles looking to the inside. Cuts it back and going to get a couple of yards. Crossed about the 44, 43-yard line. Leuzinger won the toss here tonight in this ball game, elected to kick off. They held Diamond Bar 3 and out. Now they are on the offense after taking the ball inside the 5-yard line on a punt. So far, the key play of this drive is the 4th down, going for it on about the 10-yard line, 10 or 11-yard line, and getting Diamond Bar offside. Second down play right here. And there's that quarterback option. Shaz Foster hopping and skipping. He's going to get it down to about the 38-yard line. He'll be a little short of the first down as he's brought down by Nicholson, Dante Nicholson here. It's Diamond Bar Brahmas, defending champions of Division II. They defeated Chino last year. In the semifinal ball game 1 year ago, they defeated the Dominguez Dons at Long Beach Veterans Stadium, then went on to defeat Chino. So Leuzinger would like to take their championship away from them. 3rd and about 1.5 yards to go. They give it to Fontenot. Fontenot looking for the block, gets to the outside. He'll have the first down and steps out of bounds. Fontenot stepping out of bounds right at about, let's say the 30, 31-yard line. Another first down for the Leuzinger Olympians. 3:41 to go in the first quarter. The drive continues. There you see the banners that have been brought out tonight by the Leuzinger fans here on the near side of the field. We are broadcasting from the visitor side, the near side of the field, to your vantage point watching this ball game. First and 10 for Leuzinger. Shaz Foster also plays basketball in there at QB. They give to Ellis. Ellis slips a tackle, gets to the outside, has some extra yards. Elias Ellis slipped that initial tackle and got around left side, where he's brought down by Eric Williams. So a good run there by Ellis. The mayor of Lawndale is on hand here tonight. He is roaming the sideline. Got a lot of big people here that made the trip out here to on the 60 and the 57 to Diamond Bar. Hoping, if they are Leuzinger fans, it'll be a good night. Got a long way to go. Second down and about 4 or 5 for Leuzinger. There's the pitch to Fontenot. Fontenot hopping over a couple of people, and he's going to be taken down, close to the first down. It's Fontenot, the ball carrier. Leuzinger Olympians are a team that shuns the pass for the most part. For most of the year until he was injured, Donald Bell was the quarterback. Now, Donald Bell was not a bad passer, although they didn't elect to throw that much with him in there. With Shaz Foster, does not throw that much, so he's not really tested. And fortunately for Leuzinger's perspective, they have not in this postseason been put into a situation where they've had to come from behind and been forced to pass. Well, here's another big 3rd and 1 play for Leuzinger. They need a yard for the first down. Straight ahead is Foster, and he appears to have it. He would have to get to about the 20-yard line, and it looks like he does have the first down. They'll move the chains, and the drive will continue for the Leuzinger Olympians. Leuzinger 10-2 on the year, 8-2 in the regular season. Only 2 losses on the year to West Carlsbad down near San Diego the opening week. And they lost what they considered a heart-wrenching game to the Peninsula team back in late October. Peninsula winning the Bay League. 1st and 10 now for Leuzinger. There's the pitch to Fontenot. They try to come up and catch him, and this time they are going to get him as they come up, getting up there in quickly. Dominic Robinson, he eluded Robinson earlier in this drive. This time he's not able to do it, and Robinson catches him behind the line of scrimmage, and he loses about a yard. So good alert play by Dominic Robinson, smelling that one out. It'll be 2nd and 11 for Leuzinger. 1:40 to go in this first quarter. Talked to the coaching staff before this ball game. They said both of these teams like to run, and if both of these teams have their way, this will be a very quick ball game. That clock is going to wind. This first quarter is just about gone. 1:26 to go in it and running. 2nd and 11. Here's the option play. There's Shaz Foster straight ahead. Shaz Foster is going to get it to about the 15-yard line on the keeper. Play worked effectively last week. It has worked fairly well on this drive so far, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7. Here's another crucial 3rd down for the Leuzinger Olympians. The ball will be on about the 15-yard line. Now under a minute to go in this first quarter. We say 3rd and 5. And there's Charles. Charles not going to get much yardage on that play. Maybe a yard or 2. He'll be short of the first down. It'll bring up a 4th down play. Maybe he gets a yard. It'll bring up 4th and 4. And with 35 seconds to go in the first quarter, we have our first big play of the night for both teams, especially for Diamond Bar. Like to make a stop right about here. Leuzinger would want the drive to continue. 4th down and about 4. See what they'll come up with. They hand it off. Trying to get to the outside. Looks like he may have the first down. The ball came loose. And let's see. Ball came loose. Do they call it a fumble? No, he is short of the first down. He did not get the yard marker. He came up about a yard short. The ball was fumbled, but that was after the fact. But Fontenot is going to be about a yard short of the first down, and with just seconds to go in the first quarter, let's see this one again. Fontenot was close to the sticks, and he's hit there. Now hit again. He was not down. He would have had the first down, I think, if not for the fumble. The second hit knocked the ball loose, so Diamond Bar back on offense for the second time, with just a few seconds left to go in this first quarter. Ryan Main in the quarterback. Hands the ball off to Wright. Wright met behind the line. A big play behind the line as David Brown comes up to hit him, and that'll be the last play of the first quarter. So a first quarter, a very quick first quarter. A first quarter that was dominated by the Leuzinger Olympians, but they were not able to crack the end zone. And at the end of one quarter here in Diamond Bar, fellas, didn't I warn you guys about this last week? Who's the home team here tonight? Who's the visitors? It is 0-0, Diamond Bar and Leuzinger. Now, come on, guys. We corrected this last. Let's correct it again now. We guys, during the quarter break, let's put the visitor, Leuzinger on top, and Diamond Bar on the bottom. And this time I can't hear you guys in the headset, so I can't hear you guys cursing at me down there in the truck in the headset. But we are scoreless here at the end of one quarter. When play resumes starting the second quarter, it is going to be Diamond Bar with the football. It'll be 2nd down and long. They didn't gain much on that first down play. This is their second possession. First possession, they were 2 and out, 3 and out actually. And, of course, the big punt that put Leuzinger back. Leuzinger taking it down close to first down yardage, but not able to get there. And as we start the second quarter, it's going to be about a 2nd and 12, 2nd and 13. No score in the ball game. Diamond Bar Brahmas on the offense. Ryan Main is the QB. He's back to throw. First pass of the night. Has a man out there. A little underthrown, and it is incomplete. Well, he had a receiver out there on the far side as he was looking to throw that time to Eric Williams, and he's covered well by Donald Bell. Donald Bell came up with an interception last week. You see the cast on the left hand, left wrist there. And as a result of that cast, he's not been able to quarterback the latter half of the year, but he's still used to run back kicks and play defense. And Dewan Jokes victimized him a few times last week for Dominguez, but he did come up with a big interception. And here's a third down play, third down at about 14 for Diamond Bar. Ryan Main back to throw. Rush coming from the outside. He eludes the rush, going to get this one off. And we have a completion. A big completion and a big catch. This time they go back to the same guy. They go to Eric Williams. Darian Fontenot on the coverage. Looked like there might have been a little contact there, but also nothing called. The contact could have gone against Fontenot. But a well-thrown ball as he just eluded the outside rush of David Brown. Brown was rushing, and it's a big first down. Gets him out of bad territory. And they go back on the offense. Hand off to right straight up the middle. Here's the other right. He's got an opening into the secondary. Still on his feet, looking for a block. There's a big block from the other right, and he's out of bounds, deep in Leuzinger territory at about the 15-yard line. Well, that time, Dwight Wright got the handoff, and Jason Wright, the other Wright brother, came up and led the block. Jason Wright came out of nowhere to come up and lead that block, and it's a big gainer. He's out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. So on the big pass, it gets him out to the 44. Now they get a big run by Dwight Wright. And the Diamond Bar Brahmas that quickly are in business. 1st and 10 from about the 22-yard line. Main up to the line of scrimmage. The Wright brothers in the backfield. And they give to Jason Wright. Jason Wright trying to take it up the middle, gets a couple of yards, gets positive yards. Sometimes all it takes is one play to kind of wake you up. It was a third down and about 14, and that long pass play could have been the play that wakes them up. Get second down and about 5. You mentioned the big backs, Jason Wright, the senior, Dwight Wright, also a senior. They are the two feature backs. They're both in the backfield. They are not actually blood brothers, but they run like it. This time it's Jason Wright. Jason Wright off the left side, gets some positive yards. And it's going to bring up a third down and about short. Looks to be about 3rd and 1. Well, Rufus Washington is going to join us in a second. He'll be here. Of course, we have Ken Fine on the sideline. And an official's timeout taken right now as the Leuzinger coaching staff heads out onto the field. Actually, I believe it is an official Leuzinger timeout. And Rufus is going to be joining us any second now. It's 10:47 to go here in quarter number 2. There's no score in the ball game. But the Diamond Bar Brahmas are on the march, courtesy of a long pass from Maine to Eric Williams on the 3rd and 14. And then, of course, the Wright brothers getting into the act. Dwight Wright with a big run, getting them now to the 22, and now they're in about a 3rd and 2 situation. So we are joined here right now in the broadcast booth by veteran of Channel 22 Sports, Rufus Washington.
Well, thank you, Dave, and a late veteran at that, but I got to tell you, this is one heck of a crowd that we're seeing here. I mean, there wasn't a parking space literally within a mile of the stadium, and that contributed to my lateness. Boy.
And right here as they hand off on the 3rd down play, he's going to be Dwight Wright on the carry, close to a first down. And he does have the first down. So the Diamond Bar Brahmas, after a first quarter where they touched the ball for less than a minute, Now just a minute and a half into the second quarter. They are on the march. They've got it 1st and 10. Ball right just outside the 10-yard line, about the 10 or 11-yard line. Ryan Main in there at quarterback. Jason and Dwight Wright in the backfield. This time he gives to Jason Wright. Jason Wright off the left side, still on his feet. Gets some positive yards. He will get it, it appears, down to about the 5-yard line. Terry Infantino bringing him down. Terry Infantino was the unfortunate victim on that long pass that got them out of bad territory on the 3rd and 14. Now at the 10-minute mark, it's 2nd and about 6. Ball on the 6-yard line. Diamond Bar trying to crack the end zone for the first time tonight. Leuzinger got the ball down to about the 11-yard line and was stopped short on a 4th down attempt. It's Ryan Main. Gives it to Wright. Trying to go to the right side. Still on his feet. Heading for the end zone. Puts the head down, and he's in for the touchdown. That is Jason Wright off the right side. It's about a 6-yard run. Has put his head down, hit that right side, and he's in for the first score of the night. And it is Diamond Bar 6, Leuzinger nothing.
And I guess there's a big crowd here. I'm just getting here. What's your sense of are these all Leuzinger fans who are sitting around, or is this the overflow from the visitor side? As we watch the replay here, not one that particularly pleases the Olympians to see Diamond Bar get on the board first here in the early stages of the second quarter.
As Andres Martinez with a point after touchdown, the kick is good. They go for the 1-point conversion. So at the 9:39 mark of the second quarter, it is Diamond Bar 7, Leuzinger nothing. Well, Rufus, yes, we are in fact sitting amongst basically Leuzinger fans who made the trip out here. This is considered the visitor side of the field. And it was, as recapping the first quarter, Leuzinger got the kickoff, won the toss, elected to kick off. They held Diamond Bar to 3 and out. They got the ball after a punt deep into their territory. They went for it on 4th and about 3 from about the 10-yard line. They faked and got Diamond Bar offside that kept the drive alive. They had a well-sustained ball control drive that took it down deep into Diamond Bar territory. It was about a 4th and 3. They went for it. Terry Infantino tried to stretch it out. Ball got knocked loose. He fumbled out of bounds. Diamond Bar takes over. And just as you got here, Diamond Bar faced the 3rd and 14, but Ryan Main hooked up deep with Eric Williams to get them out to the 44-yard line, and they got the momentum from there. Then a big run by Dwight Wright, and it leads to a touchdown. They do it in about 2.5 minutes. Here's a kickoff going to Bell. Bell going to be chased and dropped. Bell at about the 15-yard line for Leuzinger. So something that we have not seen since the Diamond Bar ball game. Well, actually, since the Glendora ball game 2 weeks ago. Leuzinger trails. During the Glendora ball game, they did not trail by much. Here they trail by a touchdown, and it's the first time in the postseason that they face that situation. And, of course, that puts a little pressure on them.
And as you can see, Bell here on the replay with the return. The thing to note there, and I'm sure the fans had already noted, was that the hand still in a cast, as it has been for the last several weeks, which has taken Bell out of the quarterback position. And, as I was coming in, I heard, Chaz Foster's name over the public address system as a quarterback. So, but after 5 weeks or so, I think the offense has probably gotten accustomed to Foster at quarterback, and you got to go with what you got right now, because we're obviously in the semifinal round. And as you said last week, this is as deep as Leuzinger has been in the playoff in a long, long time. And they're looking for a win here tonight to move on to the championship round.
2nd and 6. They give to Charles. Charles trying to get to the outside. And this time they meet him for a short gain, Darnell Charles. We've seen the past couple of times the safeties, Dante Nicholson and Dominic Robinson, come up and try to meet the Leuzinger backs. Of course, when you scout this Leuzinger team, you know that it's the likes of Fontenot and Charles that you have to key on. But what teams have not been ready for has been that option running of quarterback Chaz Foster. Well, in the situation where it's a team that does not have much of a passing attack, it's a 3rd and 5. Another big play here with 8:20 to go in the second quarter. Foster up to the line of scrimmage. They give to Charles. Charles trying to take it up the middle. He's going to be met and going nowhere.
I tell you, Dave, it certainly seems like this purple and white clad Diamond Bar team more than ready for the Leuzinger wing T offense. I mean, right now, at least from the couple of plays that I've seen, they're playing it as well as any team we've seen play it all year long.
Of course, they know that that is what Leuzinger does, and that's what they have to key on. So here's a fourth down. It'll bring up a punting situation.
Kicking game, of course, not being one of Leuzinger's strengths. They get this one now, and it sails out of bounds. They're going to mark it at the 45-yard line, which, from all appearances, is not what you want to do with the Diamond Bar football team, is give them the ball in your own side of the field.
And that's just what happens. Shaz Foster on the punt. Not a good punt. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Diamond Bar. They scored on the last possession. They lead at 7-0 with 7:30 to go here in the second quarter. The winner goes on to the Division II Southern Section Championship, and they will play either Peninsula or Upland. That ball game to be played Saturday night at El Camino College. There you see some of the Diamond Bar fans as the ball is handed off to Wright. That's Dwight Wright. Dwight Wright with some good yardage. He's going to get about 5 yards out to about the 40-yard line. Dwight and Jason Wright are the two big carriers. Dwight Wright, 195-pounder. Jason Wright, 198.
Diamond Bar, of course, I guess, from my vantage point here, looks like their nickname of the Brahmas, and they're certainly right now playing like Brahma Bulls. I mean, at 12-0, you'd expect them to be a quality opponent, and that's certainly what it appears like thus far.
There's Jason Wright. Jason Wright with a little hop step, and he doesn't get very far on this, trying to get to the outside.
And I would think, Dave, that, and certainly remains to be seen, but when you look across the field at Diamond Bar and you look at the number of guys that they dress, and obviously not all these guys play, but more importantly, Leuzinger has basically only played, even as a football team, 15, 16 guys all season, maybe a few more here and there. And you got to sort of start to wonder, particularly of a team like this with the size and speed and strength of a Diamond Bar, as to whether or not durability and other factors may not come into play against this Leuzinger team.
Well, here it's some sort of clipping or unsportsmanlike penalty. I'll get to that point in a second. It's going to be 2nd and long as they look to throw here. There's a pump fake, looking deep. And it is going to be, is it a catch? No, it's intercepted. The ball is intercepted, and I think it's Donald Bell. No, CJ Johnson comes up with the interception.
Chester Johnson, it was actually a dual possession, Dave, and Chester Johnson went up and took the ball from the receiver, recovered beautifully. If we see it on the replay, what you're going to see is that Johnson actually didn't know where the ball was until the very last second. He turns around, he sees it right in front of him. Receiver has a bead on it, and you're going to see it right here. See, his head is turned. Now he turns at the last second, goes up, has the better position, takes it from the intended receiver. Big break there for the Olympians.
Hand off to Fontenot. Fontenot trying to get to the outside. Has some speed, heading down the sideline. And he's going to be out of bounds after the big game. Terrian Fontenot looking for a little momentum after the interception. Well, you were saying a minute ago about the stamina and the depth of both of the teams. Leuzinger, as we know, carries only about 24 players total. When this team, Diamond Bar, has 57, and on the roster that I saw this week, they even added 6 more. So they've got two Italian armies. I use that word like you remember Franco's Italian. They've got 2 of them on the other side of the field. That's Don Markham with his back to you here, 1st and 10. Ball on about the 43-yard line for Leuzinger. That's Charles looking for a block from the outside. He's going to get the block. He's into the secondary. He's got one man to beat. And he's brought down after the big gain. Darnell Charles used that blocking very well, and it's a big gain for Darnell Charles. And the Leuzinger Olympians have another first down deep in Diamond Bar territory.
And that's 2 big plays that the Olympians have been able to break there, Dave, as we watch it again here. Darnell Charles coming right in front of it. Great camera work by the Channel 22 crew here to watch this. Tucks the ball away beautifully, and they're able to use the sideline against him, but not until after he makes a big gain.
1st and 10 from the 22 for Leuzinger. There's Fontenot trying to go to the right side, does the cutback. Now looks to cut to the outside, going to be in a little bit of trouble. After all is said and done, all the juking and duking, not much gain. Maybe 2 yards on the play as he's brought down. It'll bring up a 2nd down. Leuzinger trailing 7-0. Their situation, of course, the penalty really setting Diamond Bar back in that situation, some sort of unsportsmanlike penalty, and then they go for the pass on 1st down. If they're able to score there, you're looking at a 14-0 game. Now you're in a situation where Leuzinger can change the momentum if they're able to get on the board.
Well, they're at the 20-yard line, so you're in the red zone, although it's a 2nd down play for them.
As Chaz Foster on the keeper up the middle, gets a couple of yards. As he's brought down by Nicholson on the play, it's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 5 for the Leuzinger Olympians. With 5:08 to go in the 1st half. Diamond Bar 7, Leuzinger 0. Diamond Bar scoring on a 6-yard run by Jason Wright. That was set up by a long pass from Ryan Main to Eric Williams, and also a long run by Dwight Wright. 3rd down and 5 for Leuzinger. There's a head fake, and now there's going to be a timeout. Looked like they were trying to use that draw him offside play that worked on the 4th down in the 1st quarter, but not working this time. And Leuzinger is forced to take a timeout.
So you got to say, for the Olympians on the road in front of a hostile crowd, and certainly one of the biggest crowds that they've played in front of in a long, long time, that the Olympians are holding forth here, even though they trail by a score of 7-0. And you can sense that in the crowd, that no one is anywhere near being dispirited right now, and actually feeling pretty good about where the Olympians stand, although they trail by a score of 7-0 with 4:44 left here in the 1st half.
Well, something head coach Don Markham said last week is the fact that a school like Diamond Bar is used to being here. They know every year they're going to be playing games in early December. Leuzinger's not. This is basically, in this generation, a new experience for Leuzinger. And he wondered about the stamina of the team, about the fatigue factor, as you did. And
that's the word I was looking for and couldn't come up with. Thank you.
And of course, the coaching staff not overly worried about the fact that it's on the road. They know it's a business-like effort. 3rd down and 5 here. Probably 4-down territory. They give to Fontenot. Fontenot slithers straight ahead. He's going to be close to a 1st down, maybe a little short. And quite obviously, they are going to go for it on 4th down.
And the signal from the back judge is that it is a 4th down. You know, you sit here and, you know, I mean, our job is to call it like we see it, and to sometimes get in the minds of the fans. And I got to tell you, well, after this play, we'll develop that thought.
There's Charles looking for the 1st down. He's close to it, and it looks like he will probably have it, as they are going to move the chains, and it will be a 1st down.
And you're exactly right. That's the indication, and that works well for the Olympians, and we're glad to see that. I think a lot of fans would be even more glad next year to see some semblance of a kicking game come into play, though. You can't depend on making it on 4th down through the course of the season and expect to have success all the time.
1st and goal now from the 8. There's Foster. Foster going to get maybe a yard or 2 on that option. Ball was on the 8. Maybe he picks up a yard. 3:37 to go in this 1st half. And congratulations to the crew. They did it again. They flipped the graphics. How about that? See, we have to keep them on their toes. See, we can't hear them tonight, so we got to. They say basically what they're saying is no pregame meal for you next week. That's what they're saying. Here's the 2nd and goal. Fontenot trying to get to the outside. He's going to be met and not going to get very far this time. As Dominic Robinson coming up that time, anticipating, but he does get a couple of positive yards to maybe the 4-yard line. And quite obviously, this is 4-down territory. Make no mistake about that. And for the benefit of psychology, you would figure Leuzinger does want to get some sort of score out of this before the end of the half. They will get the 2nd half kickoff, but they're trailing 7-0.
And they're at the 5-yard line. Again, they're deep in Brahma territory. This is, again, a situation where it's psychologically important, as you said, important to come away with something.
Here's a little reverse. There's Charles heading for the end zone. Is he in? Yes, he is. There's a touchdown for Leuzinger. Touchdown for Leuzinger. And it's 7-6, pending the point after touchdown. That's Charles on the reverse. They gave it to Fontenot first, and then back to Charles. It's a 7-6 ball game, as you see it again. Now, wait a second. Now I believe we're hearing no touchdown. We'll have to see what this is about. They're saying now they do give him a touchdown. Much to the delight of the Leuzinger fans. First they were saying no touchdown. Now they say yes, touchdown. But now here comes the all-important two-point conversion, which could put them ahead. This is big. Fontenot in motion. They give to Fontenot. He'll try to get to the outside.
Did he get there?
And he's not in. Fontenot is not in. He was met. He was met there. And it's Williams again. Eric Williams coming up to meet him. Fontenot looked like he had an edge and had an opening, but not able to get there. And so Leuzinger will still trail by 1 at the 3:02 mark to go of this second quarter. So Leuzinger is able to get some points out of it. They did need some points. They make it a 7-6 ball game. They get back into the ball game, and with 3:02 to go till halftime, this will be a big defensive set. They won the toss and elected to kick off, so they will get the ball for the second half kickoff, but there is still 3 minutes and 2 seconds to deal with.
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, we've got a lot of time left in this half with 3 minutes and 2 seconds against a very good Diamond Bar team. It's going to be essential here on special teams, first of all, that Leuzinger play very well. Again, the weak kicking game is going to come into play here because rarely is a kickoff deep enough to depend on being able to pin the opponent deep in their own end of the field.
Well, they do the little squib this time, hoping that it will be fielded or bobbled. It is bobbled, but they're able to pick it up at about the 30-yard line. So it was bobbled momentarily, but Leuzinger there on the tackle. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for Diamond Bar from about their own 30-yard line, 2:59 to go. In this first half, Diamond Bar leads 7-6. Ball actually at about the 31. Coach Don Markham getting his team here into the semifinals in his first season. He's had many successful years as a high school coach. Ryan Main in there, quarterback for Diamond Bar. Back to throw on 1st down. Now whistle sound. Whistles coming in. And maybe a procedure call, as they're going to go to the other side and explain what happened. Legal procedure against the Diamond Bar Brahmins. It'll back them up 5 yards, 1st and 15.
And as we sit here in the heart of the San Gabriel Valley, a little different temperature pattern out here. And we were forewarned that it does get a bit nippy at night, and the nippiness is already set in. Crisp night.
Not quite as bad as 2 weeks ago at Citrus College against Glendora. Going to throw on 1st down, throwing over the middle, and the pass is complete. And running a big run after the catch, Dante Nicholson. Dante Nicholson with a big run. After the catch, he picks up the 1st down, going right over the middle.
And that was Chester Johnson with a potentially touchdown-saving tackle, Dave. Again, with 2:48 left, what I warned against earlier, you got to play it out the whole 24 minutes. Tough. Leuzinger let up just a little bit there. Diamond Bar converts, and now they're threatening again after the Leuzinger score. And Leuzinger, of course, wanting to contain the damage right now.
1st and 10 from the 44, back to throw. Throwing down the left side, and it's going to be incomplete. Ball at, well, no, it is complete. Eric Williams. They say he had it inbounds.
And the call is understandable that you're made from our vantage point. It certainly looked incomplete. Boy, you know, it'd be great to have a camera on that side, but that's neither here nor there. Boy, it's a spectacular catch if you're looking from this side, because you got to believe, and properly so, as we watch the replay here, the quarterback lays up a beautiful pass. Now, let's see. Well, they say it's complete. We're at Diamond Bar. We'll have to take their word for it.
First and goal as the ball is handed off to Dwight Wright. Dwight Wright takes it to about, it appears, the 5-yard line. With 2 minutes to go now till halftime.
Leuzinger defense here, Dave, really got their back against the wall right now in terms of not wanting to give up the 7. You know, you want to contain the damage as best as possible. We've still got 1:47 left. This is all football defensive damage control right now.
He's going to throw, and the ball is tipped in the air and incomplete. Looking at time for Dominic Robinson on a little quick out. And it's incomplete. Chester Johnson, CJ there on the coverage. They'll bring up a 3rd and goal from the 5. As you see the clock on the lower right-hand part of your screen, it appears like out of nowhere. 3rd and goal. A big play right here. Ryan Main, number 13, with a short drop. Being rushed. And it's handed off to Wright. Wright not able to get there. So Wright not able to score. He's going to be stopped at about the 5-yard line.
That looked like Elias Ellis on the tackle there for the Olympians, number 11. I know we see number 7, Fontnote there. But if I'm not mistaken, that was Ellis with the tackle. And a good defensive stand so far for the Olympians. A 4th and 5 for Diamond Bar. And let's see what they show us here, Dave.
4th and goal from the 5.
They show that they're going for it.
They're ahead by 1. Field goal puts them up by 4. Back to throw. Looking left side. It is incomplete.
Great defense there by Donald Bell, who did a suicide dive for it. May have tipped it. Minimally, he distracted the receiver, or the receiver's view of the ball, so Leuzinger catches one heck of a break. Again, not out of the woods yet, though. Deep in their own territory. Look at the scoreboard. Diamond Bar has 3 timeouts, all right? And you best better believe they're going to be using all 3 of them and hoping to get this ball back with a shot. I would think they would probably go for the 3, but that's thinking way down the line. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that last pass intended for Dominic Robinson. 1st and 10 from the 5-yard line in the shadow of their end zone for Leuzinger. And they keep it on the ground. Safe thing. It looks like Tavita McCullough gets the handoff. And Diamond Bar is not taking time out. So they may just want to run this out. Leuzinger, of course, gets second half kickoff. So although you like to go in ahead at the end of the half, you got to be somewhat realistic. 7-6 score is better than a 7-0 score, and that's the situation right now. And the 2nd down and about 8. Could be the last play. Well, they're going to throw it. They're looking deep. There's Fontenot. Off the fingertips. Fontenot looking for an interference call.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm a little surprised by both things I'm seeing right now. First of all, I'm extremely surprised that Diamond Bar didn't call a timeout. You got 3 in your pocket with 48 seconds left in the half. It's an ideal opportunity to start using them, because if you hold them and you get the ball back, you've got a shot at it. Leuzinger, by the same token, which eschews the pass, if you will. Here we see pass there put up by Chaz Foster. Just a total surprise that they would throw the ball in that situation. So they turn the tables on us. We got 6 seconds left here in the half.
It's Brandon Henry on the coverage that time. And Foster is just going to take it up the middle, and that will kill the clock, kill the half, as the first half comes to an end.
And I'm sorry, no, go ahead. They're telling me that Ken Fine has some information down on the sideline, so why don't you throw it down to Ken?
All right, take it away, Ken, if you are ready. All right, well, there you see our situation. It's 24 minutes away from the championship game for one of these teams here tonight. And at the half, it is the Diamond Bar Brahmas 7, the Leuzinger Olympians 6. We'll come back with the second half, 24 minutes away from the finals, right after this. Welcome back to Holmes Stadium here in Diamond Bar, California. Dave Marks along with Rufus Washington. We're getting ready for the second half kickoff. And right now, let's take things down to the field where Ken Fine should be about standing by any second now. He's going to have something for us at the half because he got us some interesting information. As you see, your halftime score at 7-6 in favor of the Diamond Bar Brahmas. Leuzinger missing on a two-point conversion with the opportunity to take the lead.
Okay, I got it. Okay, great.
As Diamond Bar got the first score, they scored as a result of a long pass play and a couple of runs and a 6-yard run by Jason Wright. And Leuzinger was able to tie the ball game up. And we are ready to go to Ken Fine, so I believe he is standing by on the field, and we should be getting set to go. Are we going to go there? So Ken Fine is coming up, and he is down on the field, been waiting to talk, so take it away, Ken.
Yeah, this is Ken Fine down here on the field. I just thought you might be interested in some facts of what this game has been. So far, we've seen Therian Fontenot, who is trying and has already reached 2,000 yards this season. All he needed was 29 yards. Now, we're looking at a running back game so far tonight. On both teams, they're run teams. Fontenot, number 7, Foster, number 5, Charles, number 10, McCullough, number 8, and Elias, number 11 for the Olympians. And then you got Jason Wright, number 18, and you got Dwight Wright, number 22. Now these guys, Wright, the Wright brothers as they call them, have racked up more than 2,300 yards. And I'll tell you, their defense is tough. They've only allowed one opponent to go score more than 2 TDs in a game. So this is going to be a tough game for the Olympians tonight. And I'll tell you, so far we've seen some smash, bang, spectacular football. So get ready tonight, and I'll tell you, back up to you, Rufus and Dave.
Well, thank you very much, Ken. We know you've been waiting for quite a while to say that. There you see the mayor of the fine city of Lawndale. He is there tonight.
A longtime Mayor Harold Hoffman, and let me thank Dave for filling in for me on the first half on play-by-play. And I doing the color. We'll flip it back over now the other way. And as they come out, Dave, your sense of what's going to happen here in the second half.
Well, what I think is going to happen is basically this third quarter is going to be crucial psychologically for both teams. Leuzinger is going to get the ball. They're still trailing, of course, by 1 point. They are going to have to tighten up their pass defense. They were a little porous on that in certain instances. Of course, they denied that late touchdown late in the second half, and they came up with a big interception. But if they're going to be successful, they are going to have to stop Diamond Bar, keep them from taking a lot of time off the clock, and this next possession is going to be big. They're going to need a sustained drive of some sort.
Leuzinger will receive the second half kickoff. It's back deep. Donald Bell's calling for it. Bell takes it at the goal line. Hits the wedge, still on his feet. Breaks around the left side. Donald Bell has some running room. Couple of guys to beat, brings it out to the 40-something yard line, and there's a late flag on the play. This will be interesting here. Late flag on the play. Early indication, or at least some of the crowd thinks that it's going to go against Leuzinger, and they aren't real pleased with the player if it is against Leuzinger who did that, because Bell was at least 10 yards in front of him.
Well, yes, it is against Leuzinger. It looked like Melvin Pettis, number 24, was might have been the guilty party, and it seemed to be way away from the play. But nevertheless, it's going to set the Leuzinger Olympians back. What would have been a brilliant run by Donald Bell out close to midfield. They're going to lose some yardage on this, and you don't want to start the second half in a hole, as see where the call might have been made.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see. I mean, I know the fans, when they're watching tonight, and see, it was completely out of our camera angle, and that's the fans' frustration. But it's a 1st and 10 for the Olympians from the 20. They keep it on the ground. That's Fontenot with the carry, and he picks up pretty good yardage on the first down carry. some of us were remarking here, Dave, and we've been around to a number of different facilities, and it bears mentioning when you look at public education in any place, and certainly in this state, you look at the difference in the facilities here, and you wonder why and how. This is obviously a fine school, and everything that they have looks to be fine, and I'm sure the Olympians would love to have similar facilities one day. Second down play, Donnell Charles with the carry around left side. Got a flag on the play this time, and this one may go against Diamond Bar.
Well, this one may go against Leuzinger again. Andre Rochelle out there on the lead block, and it's going to be a hold. It looks like it'll be against Andre Rochelle, so 2 big holding penalties here to start this second half. Just barely a minute into it, not the way you want to start for Leuzinger when you trail on the road by a point.
It's going to be a third and long play now for the Olympians, and you're right, two big penalties here to start the second half. I put them in a deep hole. Well, again, we got the bugaboo, the side markers showing second down. They keep it on the ground, pick up good yardage on the play, but they'll still be short of the first down as they need to get out to the 31-yard line for the first down.
Well, the sideline marker shows third down. And the scoreboard also shows, so I guess we'll have to go there. It looks like about 3rd and 6 or 7 for the first down. They'll need to get to about the 31 to pick up that first down.
And we'll take it at face value. That is a third down. It's a 3rd and 7. Ball spotted at 24. Leuzinger needing to cross the 30 to pick up the first down here in the early third quarter. There's the pitch to Donnell Charles, and he won't be near the first down. So to bring up a 4th down for the Olympians now, and it looks like they're going to send on the punting team. So Leuzinger not able to capitalize on receiving the kickoff to open the second half, Dave.
Yes, and we said that this first possession of the third quarter was going to be a big one momentum-wise. Now they're going to have to punt it away and hope to get a good kickoff, and then they will have to go on the defense.
Leuzinger needing a good punt here. And, man, this is one of the best punts in this season. I took him back to the 35-yard line. You should have a flag there. No flag on the play. And it's returned across midfield into Leuzinger territory at the Leuzinger 44-yard line. Looks like where they're going to spot it at. But I could have swore I saw a clip back here near the 40. Ref was in front of it. He didn't agree. So Diamond Bar gets the ball in pretty decent field position.
And Brandon Henry on the run that time. Yeah, it was a good high punt. One of the better ones of the year, as you mentioned, but coverage not quite able to get there in enough time. And so this is an important defensive possession for the Leuzinger Olympians. They trail by 1, 9:19 to go in the third quarter.
Diamond Bar out of the eye, hands it to the first back through. And he picks up about 3 on the play, make it a 2nd down and 7. We've got 9 minutes left here in the third quarter, fans. Our score, 7-6, Olympians on the short end, but only by a point, and they dodged a major bullet there deep in the latter stages of the first half when Diamond Bar had the ball 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. The Leuzinger defense held them. And they're being called upon again here early in the second half to do the same thing as Diamond Bar is in their territory. With a 2nd and 7. This time they hand it off to the second back through, and he gets even less yardage than the guy who ran on the previous play.
Well,
and there is the indication, slow incoming. Someone in the crowd has better eyesight than you or I. He saw it, he called it, and Leuzinger now catches a big break at the 8:34 mark, Dave, where they recover a fumble, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for them.
Well, it looked like Derek Winston put the initial hit on right. As you see, he'll hit the pile. Winston, number 50, Jerry Howard in there, and let's see who comes up with a fumble. Might have been Tavita McCullough who recovered the ball. Leuzinger pointing right away. Bo Moy in there at the bottom of the pile, so they've got a big first down on the turnover.
Fontenot comes in motion. They fake the handoff. Foster keeps it himself. And Foster picks up about 5 tough yards on the ground as he takes it out across the 45 to about the 46-yard line. And that should make it a 2nd down and 5. Scoreboard shows it 2nd and 4. We'll take that. That's our benefit.
That's
So
Brandon Henry on that last tackle.
About the 47-yard line. Leuzinger catching a big break here. Right now, things are going their way. You got to capitalize on these turnovers. They don't chart that stat for anything, points off of turnovers. Short gain on the play for the Olympians that time. It's going to make it a 3rd, and they're going to call it a 3rd and 2 for the Olympians, Dave. They need to get to midfield to pick up the 1st down. Foster under center. Fontenot in motion. They pitch it back to Fontenot. Foster leading the blocking. Got a flag on the play. Fontenot stopped short of the 1st down, and more importantly, a flag. And Leuzinger a bit dispirited is the indication. Of course, it's a question now for Diamond Bar whether you want to give them another down because they can take the penalty and make it a 3rd and 12. Or they can go with the play and make it a 4th and 2.
I think they're going to probably want to push them back. Well, they're not moving back. Looked like I saw somebody on the Diamond Bar sideline say take them back, but they're not moving just yet. Well, now they're going to start to move back, so they will elect to at least give them 1, possibly 2 more cracks because this is a 15-yard variety. So it's going to be on the clipping call instead of 4th and about 1. It'll be 3rd and about 17 on the tough break for the Leuzinger Olympians. They've had 3 penalties in this 3rd quarter, 3 major ones so far that have thwarted their drives.
And for those who follow this program, as most of us do, they know that obviously doesn't make Coach Markham very happy right now. Donnell Charles goes in motion. Leuzinger drops back to pass. They hit the pass. Let's see if they get the 1st down. Oh, it's going to be awfully close. I think it's going to be about a half a yard short. So it's going to be 4th and half a yard. You can see from here that they're not spotting it as a 1st down.
Well, gutsy call for Coach Don Markham.
Well, if you think that one was a gutsy call, check this one out.
As they're going to go for it on about 4th and maybe a foot. Need to get to the other side of the midfield with 6:38 to go in the 3rd quarter. Big play in this ball game.
I think this is where Foster calls his own number, but let's see. And he does, and he gets the 1st down easily. Yeah. In that type of situation, I think you'd agree, Dave. No use fooling with the ball, handing it off, and all this and all that. You know, you increase your risk of a turnover. You got 6 inches to go. Let the quarterback do it, especially when he's a good running back like Foster.
Especially a guy who's about 6'4" and plays on the basketball team. He's tall enough to do it. So they get the 1st down at about the 48-yard line.
They're in Glendora territory. We've got 6:10 left here in the 3rd quarter. Leuzinger on the move right now, trailing by a score of 7-6. Here's Fontenot with a carry. Fontenot picks up good yardage. He's out here. In fact, he has a 1st down. They'll move the chains again, as the side judge says. Take them down 10 more, fellas.
It's such a game of psychology. I mean, each team seems to peak off of another team's mistake, off of a turnover or something. You see that big turnover coming on the fumble, that 3rd and 17 play, which leads to the 4th and a foot being a key, and the drive continues for Leuzinger.
This time they pitch it back to Charles. Charles hits the left side. Sees a bit of a hole that closes up on him, but not until after he picks up about 5 on the play. So Leuzinger ripping off a good 4 to 5 yards per carry, and that's pretty good. They're going to call it a 2nd down and 5. What's at stake? Well, a berth in the CIF Division II championship game is what's at stake in this game, and these guys are playing all out.
And for the perspective of Diamond Bar, they'll have that title ripped from them here tonight if they lose. They won it last year when they beat Chino. They are the defending champions of Division II.
A remarkable turnaround season for the Leuzinger Olympians, and we'll develop that point in just a moment. Once again, Fontenot with the carry, and Fontenot looks like he's got enough for another first down, and it is. So they're now very deep into Diamond Bar territory. The Brahma Bulls, they're at the 25-yard line, it would appear, where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Olympians.
And as you see, Fontenot running strong. They're not coming up to hit him the way they were earlier in the ball game.
Foster calls a fake, keeps it himself. Nothing doing on the play.
It's a very short gain that time for Chaz Foster. The play that worked so effectively last week against Dominguez in the 38-28 win. It's worked a couple of times tonight, but as we mentioned in the first half, you know the Diamond Bar coaching staff saw that one on the films, and they came prepared for it. So it brings up a 2nd and 8 with 4:10 to go in the 3rd quarter. 7-6 Diamond Bar.
Ball at the 23. 2nd down and 8 for the Olympians. Here's the pitch back to Fontenot. Fontenot picks up about 3, maybe 4 on the play. Diamond Bar defense stiffening just a bit here.
Well, you're approaching what's called that old-fashioned red zone inside the 20-yard line, and that's when they're supposed to get a little tough. It's going to be a 3rd down and about 5 or 6 here to go, and obviously for Leuzinger, it's 2-down territory with 3:35 to go in the 3rd quarter.
I wonder if the band members get paid. I've seen some colleges don't have as many members in their band as Diamond Bar High School has in their band. 3rd down play, 3rd and 5, and we got a flag on the play.
Leuzinger thinks that they drew him off.
That this should go against Diamond Bar. Official, okay, now he turns himself around because he was turning the other way. And let's see, and that's enough for the 1st down. So Leuzinger catches another break there, Dave, on a drive that had started to stall just a bit. They draw him offside, pick up a new set of downs.
Yes, and when you were still on the 57, they did this deep in their territory, 4th and 3 in the 1st quarter. It worked then, it worked now.
Darnell Charles with the carry, Charles with the spin move. Good run by Darnell Charles. You see the clock rolling down in your corner there. I tell you, we here at Channel 22, we spare no expense to make the fans' viewing pleasure our first priority.
Well, part of it is coming out of my meal money because I brought up the fact that they had the graphics upside down again. So some of the burgers that they buy before the ball game, I won't. If there is a next week, I won't be getting one, I guess.
So it's a ball's at the 6-yard line. It's a 2nd and goal from the 6. Leuzinger knocking on the door. Fontenot with the carry. Fontenot stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Gains maybe a yard on the play. It's going to make it a 3rd and 5. You see the clock, 2:20 and rolling. Left here in the 3rd quarter. Leuzinger right now, though, Dave, with a golden opportunity. And this is one of those situations we talked about. We saw it in the 1st half. This is going to have a psychological impact one way or the other.
Well, because you can bet, Rufus, if Leuzinger doesn't score, Diamond Bar is going to come out there with fire in their eyes, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see them out of the shadow of that end zone quickly if Leuzinger doesn't score.
So it's a 3rd and goal for the Olympians. Chaz Foster in the center. There's a pitch back to Charles. Charles loses yardage on the play. By the time he finally goes down, looks like he may have gained 1. I'm going to gather from this point, and it's hard to see exactly where he is, but he's certainly inside the 5. They're saying he's at the 1. Scoreboard not helping us out at this point, but we can certainly tell from our vantage point that they're at the 1.
Well, it's a 1st and goal.
Oh, well, this is great. And they're saying the ball's at the 2, but it's a 1st and goal for the Olympians. Foster with the carry. Foster gets 1 out of the 2. So it'll be a 2nd down and a 2nd and goal, ideally from the 1.
Yeah, it looked like his forward progress is going to get him to about the 1-yard line. And this, of course, where it gets tough, but a situation where you might elect to try a pitch back to Fontenot if you handle it well.
Well, I tell you, if Joe Gibbs were coaching this team, I can tell you what he'd call. he'd have the Hogs pulling on a counter tray that they ran so beautifully for so many years, my beloved Redskins. Here's Fontenot trying to get in. He's awfully close. There's no indication. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess if you're Leuzinger, you got to get to the goalpost in order for the referee to call it. I shouldn't say that. Hopefully they won't fine me. Barkley got a $20,000 fine. If CIF tries to fine me $20,000, they'll be waiting for a long time. So scratch that comment.
Well, it's a big 3rd and goal right here with a 35-second mark of the half.
3rd and goal from the 1. Some of the crowd on their feet. You're going to have an offside here, I would think. And there's the indication from the side. Touchdown, Leuzinger. And again, a delayed call. And our job is to call it like we see it. Boy, it took forever and a day for the officials to make that call. But at the 22-second mark of the 3rd quarter, Leuzinger goes on top by a score of 12-7.
Chaz Foster just straight ahead, stretching out that 6'4", 200-pound frame. And now this 2-point conversion is very crucial because if they get it, it puts them up by 7. And I don't think they get it. No, they don't.
There's the effort, so Leuzinger once again having to go to the 2-point attempt, comes up short. That makes our score 12-7 with 22 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter.
And what that means, Rufus, is all Diamond Bar has to do is score a touchdown, and they're up by 1, whether they get the point after touchdown or 2-point conversion or not. But Rufus, I think we're going to go down to Ken Fine. And Ken, are you ready? Do they have you? Did they give you? They haven't cut your meal money, have they?
Thank you, Rufus. So far, this game has been a run, bash up game. I mean, we've literally seen some great running drives by the Olympians. They've got Darnell Charles on 14 runs or rushes, 77 yards. You've got Fontenot with 17 rushes for 71 yards. And you've got Chaz Foster with 13 rushes, 42 yards. They are really moving tonight. They've got to keep it rolling. And so far, they've done a good job. Back to you, Rufus and Dave.
Thank you, Ken. Leuzinger with the short kickoff. However, it looks like a flag comes in. A couple of flags come in now as they chase them out over at the 41-yard line. But let's see which way these flags go, because this is going to affect Diamond Bar's field position as we've got 16 seconds left in the 3rd. Leuzinger seeming to think that this is going to go against Diamond Bar.
Well, what's interesting, Rufus, is for the first time since about the 11-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, Diamond Bar is trailing on the scoreboard. So it'll be interesting to see how they and their coach Terry Roche and quarterback Ryan Main will elect to handle this, because as a result of these big penalties, they're going to be pushed way back to about the 19-yard line. 16 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. They now trail by 5, but all they need is a touchdown, and they'll have at least a 1-point lead. As you saw, the illegal hit came a little bit before that.
So it's a 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line for Diamond Bar. They lay it up in the air. And the receptionist made, oh boy, this is going to be trouble here. This is a 81-yard touchdown run. This is 81 yards. And if that score stands, which it looks like it will, just like that, Diamond Bar breaks back on top, and they put it up on the board. That's going to be a tough break for the Olympians, and that takes some of the starch out of the crowd here. Leuzinger, as we saw last week against Glendora, I believe it was, or a couple of weeks ago, working hard for every point, using up a lot of clock. The opponent comes back, and in a matter of seconds, gets points on the board.
Well, you wondered what they would do, and they get it in about 4 or 5 seconds. There's a point after touchdown is good.
Kick is up, and it's good. And guess what? That makes our score 14-12 now in favor of Diamond Bar on the 81-yard touchdown pass.
So that was kind of quick. Dominic Robinson scored it on the long bomb from quarterback Ryan Main to Dominic Robinson. And they victimized the mismatch as you'll see this is the replay of the clip right here to right. That was on the kickoff, the play that preceded that. And then, of course, it was 1st and 10 from about the 19. And they go up top. They take Donald Bell and Dominic Robinson in the one-on-one. Dominic Robinson simply out-jumped him with Bell trying to get there. Bell slips, and he's able to take it all the way to the house. And all they had to do was score the 6, and they're up by at least 1. They get the 1-point conversion, and it's a 14-12 ball game. This will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. That play taking all of 14 seconds.
And there you see Bell with the carry, 1 to atone for it. Now he's brought down after he brings it out. Right now the crowd choosing to stand, and that's certainly their prerogative. Only thing it does is that it obstructs our view. As best we can tell, it looks like they're at about the 20-yard line.
So there's 12 minutes to go. It's a 14-12 ball game. Leuzinger did what they had to do. They took a lot of time off the clock. And again, it's a game of momentum, and it happened just so quickly. But they're only trailing by 2 points. And here a situation where there's, if they make those 2-point conversions, they're up 60. If they make one of them, it's a 14-14 tie. If they make both of them, they're up 16-12. So those 2-point conversions are very big, as you see Coach Don Markham. And this 12 minutes can evaporate so very, very quickly. So this first series for Leuzinger is going to be crucial, as you see some of the crowd that made it here tonight to Holmes Stadium in Diamond Bar. This is the visiting section. Leuzinger fans well represented here tonight, especially, who was that?
Yeah, you see some of the Leuzinger entertainment, but as we go back to live action, 1st and 10 for the Olympians. Donnell Charles with the carry, looking for some running room, has some running room himself, coming down the sideline. They got the angle on him, but he doesn't back away. He goes right into the chest of number 7 for Diamond Bar. And so that gives the Olympians an emotional lift right there. Big run by Donnell Charles from the 20, 26-yard run, takes him out to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, Dominic Robinson, the man who scored the touchdown, preventing a touchdown there as he stops Darnell Charles. 1st down for the Leuzinger Olympians.
Fontenot this time with the carry. He goes around the right side. He's going to be stopped after a short gain. However, what's interesting, once again, Leuzinger's wing T offense finding holes in the defensive line of Diamond Bar. And although that one was a short gain, Fontenot saw the hole. They just happened to close it on him that time.
Yeah, they got there. The linebackers moved up pretty quickly, and that hole did not stay open for very long. It's Charles and Fontenot, the 2 ball carriers.
This time the pitch back to Charles, and Charles going to be stopped after little or no gain on the play.
So not much on the inside that time. He tried to cut it back. Tavina McCallow comes limping off there slightly. Some folks a little shy of the camera. It's only a camera, folks.
So it's a 3rd down and 8 for the Olympians at the 44-yard line. We're at the 10-20 mark here of the 4th quarter. Leuzinger right now down by 14-12. They led briefly at 12-7. Deep in the 3rd quarter, and there you got the offside. That's going to make it a 3rd down and 3, so the penalty is going to help the Olympians again. That scoring drive there in the 3rd quarter was aided tremendously in the latter stages by a penalty, Dave, and this one changes the complexion because you go from 3rd and 8 now to 3rd and 3.
Yeah, so now it makes it probably 4-down territory. If they don't make it on 3rd down, more than likely they're going to try it on 4th down. So that's the 3rd time tonight they're able to draw the Diamond Bar Brahmans into the neutral zone. It's worked actually 3 out of 4 times that they've tried to do that.
They pitch it back to Foster. Not Foster, I'm sorry, but Fontenot rather. And this is going to be awful close. I don't know if they're going to measure here. Don't see the indication from the side, Judge. And they do ask for the, well, yes, they're going to ask for a measurement. Well, no, okay. They keep throwing us curves. However, in the final analysis, they decide not to measure, and it's going to be a 4th and very short for the Olympians. Again, this I would think Chaz Foster. And Foster straight ahead. Foster picks up the first down easily, and Leuzinger keeps the drive alive.
At the 9:24 mark of this 4th quarter, Leuzinger gets another 4 downs, another 4 crucial downs, trailing 14-12. And you might expect to see an attempted run to the outside. They seem to have that when they're able to get around the end, that's where they have the most success, and particularly Darnell Charles.
So it's a 1st and 10 for the Olympians from the 32-yard line. Here's a pitch back to Charles. Charles looking around the left side, got some running room, hits the corner, still on his feet. They're gonna say he got pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line. At the 20, that's where they're gonna spot it at. So it's gonna be a 1st and 10 for Leuzinger from the 20-yard line of the Brahmas of Diamond Bar.
Well, it was fumbled out of bounds, fortunately for the Leuzinger Olympians. As we mentioned, when they run to the outside, that sweep, they seem to have success. Charles just able to get around the end. He gets a good positive yards. And there, as you see, Eric Williams goes for the strip. But Leuzinger falls on it. It's 1st and 10 for them from their own, actually from the Diamond Bar 18-yard line.
So it's at the 18 officially. Fontenot in motion. They do keep it on the ground. It's going to be a short gain on the play.
Fontenot on the short carry. This is a Diamond Bar team that has been #1 in the rankings in Division II for most of the season. You wouldn't know it by tonight, but then again, you have to give the Leuzinger Olympians some of the credit. They are hanging in and playing very tough. This is a team that beat Chino last year. Chino was a team that many people thought would be favored.
Once again, they keep it on the ground. This time, short gain by Foster on the play.
Well, they get there to stop him inside that time. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and not much yardage on that. Looks to be about 3rd or 7 or 8. And right here we have a timeout on the field. Timeout taken by Diamond Bar. That's their first time out of the second half. It comes at the 7:53 mark of this 4th quarter.
Exactly. And okay, let's go down to our sideline, to our excellent, the #1 sideline reporter in the South Bay, Ken Fine.
Thank you. We're down here on the field. Darnell Charles so far has racked up 17 rushes for 132 yards. There have been some questions on some of the passes that have been thrown so far. They have looked like pass interference. They have been questionable. We saw the coach from the Olympians go down and talk to the referee, and I'll tell you, you had to judge for yourself if you looked at those. So back up to you, Rufus and Dave.
And thanks, Ken. Appreciate that sideline report as he's updating us on the rushing yardage of both Darnell Charles and Therian Fontenot, and we know that they've made a difference. Ken has already told us that Fontenot, of course, has gone over 2,000 yards for the season, and that may well be a first in Leuzinger football history.
Well, they'll take about 7 more right here with 7:53 to go.
Right, it's a 3rd and 7 play from the 15-yard line. Here it is, Charles looking for the hole, and he's going to be stopped short. I'm so much a fan, I got to resist the temptation to do what the fans do. The fans go up, I go up. I mean, we've got the advantage of being able to look at it here on the monitor. I got to remind myself of that. But what we want to see, Dave, guess what? It's a 4th down situation.
Well, at the 7:24 and running mark, this play of the ball game right here. They need 2 yards.
Leuzinger electing to go for it here. The crowd rocking the stands. Okay, guys, we need to be on the field. There's the pitch to Donnell Charles. He picks up the first down. And then some. Donnell Charles. Leuzinger converts yet again, Dave, on the 4th down play. And that may have been the biggest one of the season right there. Not may, I think it was the biggest of the season.
Well, did Diamond Bar see number 10 in the game, Phil? You know that they saw Fontenot, number 7, but you got to wonder, he has been running so effectively to the outside. It's just cuts it back in a little bit. He's got the first down and does all of this on his own. So he's over about the 140-yard mark for the night, and here's another big first down.
I'm going to gather it's a 1st and 10 from the 4. They're inside the 5-yard line. They get it down
First and goal
to the
from about the 4.
2, where it's going to be a 2nd and goal for the Olympians. And you talk about the fatigue factor. You know, as I was eyeballing the field, watching the Brahmas unload or get back up, their down linemen are looking real tired right now.
And they've got 57 players.
The Leuzinger speed seeming right now to have a bit of advantage over the side of them. And there we go. That's a touchdown. That looks like Donnell Charles on the carry, and it was a 2-yard TD run by Donnell Charles here in the 4th quarter. Puts Leuzinger back on top, Dave, by a score of 18-12.
Well, it's been all Darnell Charles on this series on runs like that. They had it 2nd and goal from the 2. They give it to him. He takes it to the outside. It's an 18-14 game at the 5:58 mark. But here is the all-important 2-point conversion, because if they make this 2-point conversion, it gives them a 6-point lead.
It is Donnell Charles with the carry this time. The indication is, again, the indication is that he didn't make it. So Leuzinger 0 for 3 tonight after having gone roughly 50% during the course of the season.
So again, they're not able to make the 2-point conversion. Had they made it, that would have meant that on a 6-point score by Diamond Bar would have automatically tied the score. But of course now on the 6-pointer they automatically take the lead. But 5:58 to go, 18-14. It has definitely been a thrilling playoff type ball game. Leuzinger keeping it on the ground as expected. Diamond Bar in the air. Now the last time Leuzinger took the lead, they had the lead for all of about 16 seconds as Ryan Main and Dominic Robinson hooked up for an 80-yard strike. And that came after some clipping penalties on the kickoff. So this will be more important defensive stands right here and an important kickoff as they squib it.
Leuzinger kicking off again, a very short kick, which shortens the field for them already. And as much as I love the Olympians, I got to say that this has to change next year. I mean, again, you're looking at the field now for Diamond Bar being only 55 yards. You know, when you put yourself in that position, drive after drive, you're asking for trouble. And I can't believe there's not one kid in this area who's a soccer player who can't kick the ball more than 20 yards. Once again, Diamond Bar goes around the left side, picks up good yardage on the play. They pick up a first down as they take it down to the about the 42-yard line of the Olympians. It's going to be enough for 1st and 10.
Well, this is a portion of the game where your stars have to step up, and of course where Diamond Bar, Jason Wright, is one of the stars on the ground. And of course right here, the clock very much a factor at the 5:34 mark.
Diamond Bar again choosing to run it. Interesting enough, 5:20 left on the clock. And with our score 18-14, the important variable here is that Leuzinger only has to defend the end zone. The field goal doesn't do them any harm, so they can play a little more loosely on defense than you might expect.
And of course, they're going to go for 6, quite obviously, Diamond Bar.
So it's a 2nd down and 6 from the 39-yard line. Their quarterback drops back to pass, puts it in the air, hits his receiver, and he nearly breaks loose. He's down at the 25-yard line, where it's going to be another 1st and 10 for the Brahmas. We've got 4:46 left in the contest, folks. Leuzinger right now holding on for dear life with an 18-14 lead.
Well, a little slant to Dante Nicholson, and of course, Ryan Main has not had any pressure on him all night. As you see, they try to get to him, David Brown from the outside, and he's got Dante Nicholson in the seam.
And now they keep it on the ground. Leuzinger reaching for the ball a bit there. Not a good wrap-up by Fontenot on that particular play. Allowed the running back right to pick up an extra 3 or 4 yards on the play.
Want to know something, Rufus? 3 two-point conversions that have been missed tonight. Those are 6. If those 3 are made, this ball game is over. If those 3 are made, it's 24-14 right now. With just under 4 minutes to go, this game would be history, but it's game very much alive for Diamond Bar.
Once again, they keep it on the ground. And they get in a lot of gang tackling there. You got just about the whole of both teams stacked up on that play.
Well, the clock very much the factor right now, 3:35 to go. And this, the defensive stand of the season for these Leuzinger Olympians. And again, we don't want to keep harping on the point, but if they make at least 2 of those 2-point conversions, this ball game could be over.
It's a 3rd down and 2 from the 17-yard line. Leuzinger defense being asked to stand tall one more time. On the ground. Leuzinger crowd doesn't think he's got it. It's going to depend on the official spot, and that's the indication from the officials that it's a 1st down. Crowd thinks the officials a little bit generous with that spot, but it's a 1st down. It's at the 15-yard line. We got 3 minutes left in the contest. Leuzinger leads by a score 18-14.
Now
they're back against the wall. They've got a full complement of timeouts, and they may be close to needing one. They collide in the backfield, and that gives Donald Bell time to recover. The running back and the quarterback collided there, Dave.
Yes, it's Jason Wright, the ball carrier, as they do hit him in the backfield, and he's going to lose a couple of yards. Somewhere in this sequence, Leuzinger is going to have to step up and put some pressure on Ryan Main. You know he is going to throw at some point in this particular sequence, and he's had good time to get it off pretty much all night. And at some point, they're going to have to get a little pressure on him if they're going to be successful, because they haven't been able to keep him honest. So it's 2nd and about 5 right now.
The ball is at the 10-yard line, Dave. It's a 2nd down and 5 for the Brahmas. They got a receiver split out to the right. There's a pitch back inside. Leuzinger smells it out. They're trying to get a man on. They don't, though. And
well, a good call in that situation. They're going to be close to 1st down as Donald Bell runs him out of bounds, runs Eric Williams out. And it's a 1st down, maybe 1st and goal.
And that's what it looks like it's going to be.
It's at the 3-yard line with 2:10 and the clock running. So not a good spot for Leuzinger to be in. All they need is 6, and they will have at least a 2-point lead.
Leuzinger needing to force a turnover here, if at all possible. They keep it on the ground, they stack it up, they're going to be short.
And I guess the bad thing from Leuzinger's point of view is the more time they take, if Diamond Bar does score, less time Leuzinger will have to attempt to get a touchdown of their own. As this clock continues to run, Leuzinger has 3 timeouts. And this pretty much the season on the line for the Leuzinger Olympians right here. 2nd and goal from the 1. There's the Diamond Bar fans who have packed the other side of this stadium.
And that's clearly the strategy of Diamond Bar. Diamond Bar choosing to be very deliberate in the execution of their plays. And
that may be a delay of game. It's 1:13 to go. Delay of game.
It goes against Diamond Bar. Delay of game stops the clock.
But it does help them somewhat because even though they're back on the 6-yard line, they've got a little more room.
Exactly.
But it does stop the clock for Leuzinger. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 6. And as you did mention a few minutes ago, a 3-point field goal does them no good. They've got to get 6. And Leuzinger needs a stop or a turnover.
Well, their quarterback brings Diamond Bar up to the line of scrimmage. They split their receivers out. You got little Donald Bell over here on the left against a big guy. They string it out, and they don't get it. They lose yardage on the play. Leuzinger defense stiffens. We've got 1 minute, 5 seconds clock running. Let's see Diamond Bar's strategy now. And they're going to be forced into a timeout.
That's their second timeout.
Takes a timeout. That's their second. We've got exactly 1 minute left on the clock. Leuzinger defense standing tall right now. 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. And they're 2 downs away from the championship, from the Division II championship game right now, Dave. But it's a lot of time, and 2 downs is a lot of plays in this particular situation.
Well, whether you're a fan or a broadcaster or just a follower of football in general, got to be a little bit of adrenaline flowing through you at about this time. This is somewhat nerve-wracking. It is 3rd and goal from the 5. Basically the season on the line for both of these teams right here. Diamond Bar would like to repeat, have a chance to repeat as Division II champions. Leuzinger would like a shot at the championship game against Peninsula or Upland. There are 60 seconds to go. 5 yards Diamond Bar needs for the go-ahead touchdown. And Leuzinger needs at least 2 more stops or a turnover to possibly secure the victory.
All around us, so we are, you know, our only viewpoint right now is from our monitor here, and it's not a bad one. There's a pitch. There's a fake toss right there. It's up in the air, and they scored. And they scored a touchdown on a bit of a flea flicker there with 54 seconds left. Diamond Bar regains the lead by a score of 20-18.
Well, it was Jason Wright who passed it to Eric Williams, and you couldn't ask for a better designed play. It's 20-18. Now pending the point after touchdown. They've got a 2-point lead, and you see the time on the clock. They will go for the 1-point conversion here. And, well, you can't draw it up any better than that. It's successful.
The kick is up, and it's good. That makes our score 21-18 with 54 seconds left here in the contest.
Well, Leuzinger is certainly capable. They've got 3 timeouts, but of course a team that does not pass the ball, they basically keep it on the ground. And for a team that predominantly keeps it on the ground, you've got to depend on getting to the outside quite a bit and try to get out of bounds. And they will have 54 seconds. This kickoff is going to be very, very crucial, of course. This big kickoff coming up here. Leuzinger would like to get as good a return out of it as they possibly could.
Leuzinger certainly did virtually all that they could there. Diamond Bar, you know, goes to the trick play, which is in their playbook, and it works at an opportune time. They don't show it the whole game. They pull it out, and it works to perfection. Leuzinger right now needing an error-free return, and a big return at that. And they kick it away deep. Bell is going to handle it from his own end zone. Bell brings it out, has some running room, and he's going to be down at about the 20-yard line. And right now, Leuzinger has 48 seconds with which to work, and they've got their full complement of timeouts. What they don't have is much of a passing game, and right now the running game isn't your friend unless you're able to break off a long one here.
Well, it's going to take everything they've got to get this ball into the end zone. They don't have also a field goal kicker, so they are going to need 6 in
And I
a little
want the
bit of
fans to
time.
understand that that wasn't a criticism. That was simply a statement of fact. They do go to the pass here. And is there a flag on the play? There is not. Okay, they call it incomplete. They say the receiver arrived that the defender arrived at the same time as the ball. Crowd thinking that there was an interference on the play. Darnell Charles a little shaken up coming off. Makes it a 2nd down and 10 with 43 seconds left. Ball's at the 23-yard line, fans. Leuzinger needs to go 77 yards for the score.
That was Eric Williams on that last hit. Charles has to come out of the ball game.
Foster dropping back to pass. Foster lays it up, and it's intercepted. And fans, that's the ball game. Win, lose, or draw. Looks like there's a flag on the play. Leuzinger, this flag seemingly going against the Olympians. Let's see. Olympians right now needing to maintain their composure. Some disappointment perhaps starting to set in.
Well, it would depend on whether it was before or after the interception. It's on Diamond Bar, but it's a matter of was it before or after the interception.
Well, it looks like this call.
It's all a matter of when it came.
We're still looking here. There are 32 seconds left in the contest. The key is who has possession of the ball, and right now the referees are not helping us out. No one seems to understand. I'm not even sure the players know who has the ball. So Leuzinger has the ball, I think.
Well, let's see. We still don't know.
Okay.
Looks like Leuzinger has it.
That is a situation, Dave. Boy.
Yeah, Leuzinger still has possession.
From the crew. So, Leuzinger's still alive here with 32 seconds left. Once again, they put it up in the air. This time it's intercepted again. It's kind of hard to do something at the last minute that you haven't done all season. And with 21 seconds left in the contest, that's going to put the last nail in the coffin for the Olympians. That interception effectively, I would think, ends the season. And it looks like most of the fans on the Leuzinger sideline agree with me as they start to head for the exits.
Well, I think you said it well, Rufus, something that they basically hadn't worked on all year, the passing game. And if you're going to work on that, of course, you've got to have a second option if your first option is closed. And this is a situation where the defense is in a prevent, so they're not going to give you too much deep as it is. And with 21 seconds to go, barring a miracle, it's about academic.
And Leuzinger uses a timeout there. Timeout called by Bill. You got 13 seconds left. Leuzinger will certainly be attempting to strip the ball, but it's all but academic here.
And Rufus,
it's been a good season
you never want to.
for us.
I was saying you never want to rub salt in a wound, but on a couple of telecasts this year, we've seen situations at the end of the half where they've elected, Coach Don Markham has elected to put the ball in the air, and in some of those situations, we've kind of questioned the sequence of passes and some of the things here. Well, you see them taking a timeout here. Some might say, well, if the running game is what got you here, I mean, the screen pass, the little quick out on first down was a good call, but why not try something that's designed to run, get to the outside, and then use the timeout, and then you kind of mix it in with the passes.
No, please. And you're exactly right. Please continue the point.
Well, I'm also saying if you're going to pass, you've got to have a second option that's available to you on both of those interceptions. The first one that got called back, it looked like they was going for his first option all the way and didn't think about a second or safety valve, and it cost them both times.
You know, and what happens in a situation like this? Disappointment sets in early on, and right now folks are understandably disappointed. I mean, they had high hopes. They came into a hostile situation as the clock counts down 4 seconds. They stop it momentarily. Leuzinger takes yet another timeout, which gives us an opportunity to talk about the fact that it has been. When you take the sum total of it, and there's a man who's made a difference this year, Coach Don Markham. Their first program told us a story. It said there's a new sheriff in town. And boy, that new sheriff has got a new posse working, and they've put together one heck of a season. It's been a 10-3 season. They did great. They made it to the semifinals. Of course, everybody would love to have gone to the finals. But from where they came from last year, I think you got to agree that this has been an outstanding season for this Leuzinger Olympian program.
And they were basically 2 out of 3 three-point conversions away from putting this ball game away. If they make all 3, the game is over 5 or 10 minutes ago. If they make at least 2 of them, they win the ball game. But failing to get in on those 2-point conversions did them in this evening.
And this should be the final play of the contest as they drop back. And that's going to do it in our final from Diamond Bar High School in Diamond Bar. They hold on to win by a score of 21-18. The Olympians were competitive the whole way, Dave. They played a very good game. I want you fans to stay here. We're going to wrap up the show for you. We're going to bring in a couple of things. I'm sure we'll go down to Ken if he's available. Dave's got some closing comments. And it's worth repeating that although the season ends in disappointment tonight, when you look at it in its totality, it has been an extremely successful season for the Olympian program.
Well, as I said earlier in the broadcast, when you come from 3-7 and miss the playoffs, Don Markham turns the program around basically in 1 year. We knew coming off of last season that they had all the seniors coming back that were going to be available, and they turned out a season where they finished second to Peninsula in the Bay League. They're going to wind up with a 10-3 record overall, and they were only a couple of 2-point conversions away from making it to the championship as they lose it 21-18. And Rufus, at a time like this, of course, you have to think, you have to feel for those seniors: Terrian Fontenot, Darnell Charles, Donald Bell, Shaz Foster, Tavita McCallow, Danny Atu, David Brown, Jerry Howard, Bo Moy Moy, Lance Howard, Gus Jimenez, Fabian Guerin. I mean, these are guys who have played their last high school game here tonight, but the likes of Therian Fontenot and Darnell Charles, you'll probably see them somewhere in the collegiate ranks. Therian Fontenot had a fine season, and he's going to make it onto somebody's college program as either a running back or wide receiver, and I imagine you'll see Darnell Charles in the backfield for some college next year.
Right, and you're exactly right, and I think it's a fine gesture to once again mention the names of the seniors. Ken, are you ready? Okay, let's go down to Ken Fine, sideline.
This was a disappointing upset or a game for the Olympians. They had played real good tonight. They've done their best. They had some big rushing games. Darnell Charles, number 10, spectacular game here tonight. It just wasn't enough. There were some questionable plays here tonight on the pass interference calls that might have been missed, but that's the way the ball game goes, and it looks like the Brahmas pulled the game out tonight by about a touchdown. So that's it for me, and back up to you.
Thanks a lot, Ken. We appreciate that. And once again, as we say, as the crowd starts to foul out, I think it's important also to give a real huge shout out to the Leuzinger crowd. I got to say it, the players put forth the effort, and the fans really came out tonight. They had one heck of a crowd out here. The largest, not one of, it was absolutely the largest road crowd I've ever seen at a Leuzinger game. They came out, they supported their team. We put forth a good effort, and we just came up a little short, Dave.
Yes, of course, it takes about an hour or more to get here from where Leuzinger is located, and they have to pack the buses, and they're able to make it out here. As you see David Brown heading off. Of course, David Brown, one of the seniors, a little disappointed tonight. It's a tough game for the seniors, and I know in being around this for a number of years, Rufus, there's going to be some tears tonight. You know, I've had in covering high school sports, particularly when teams are eliminated from championships, these are young men. It's not so much that they're emotional. It's this means the world to them. These seniors are 18, about to be 18 years old, and right now they feel as though a pit has just opened up and swallowed them. But the good thing about this is that they will live to see another day. There will be another day, and most of them will go on to successful college programs at some level. Some of them will be standouts, even possibly you look at someone like Terry and Fontenot, chance to be a star at the next level. So there's going to be some disappointment tonight. There's going to be a lot of what could have beens and what should have beens. It'll be a long bus ride back home. But for Leuzinger fans, I guess one positive note is the fact that their JV had a very good year this year. By the way, their JV trounced Peninsula, by the way. So there'll be a lot of them coming back next year. And, of course, Don Markham will be back for his second season. And as you've harped on Rufus for most of the year, the lack of a kicking game, something that anyone out there in Lawndale that knows how to kick, well, you could, right? Any of you out there in Lawndale, you know how to kick. See this man right here.
I'm not the guy to see, but I tell you what, I guarantee you that Coach Markham would like to see you. It's a good football team. You're right. A couple of things are going to happen, though. They're losing a lot of seniors. They're losing the core of their talent, but you've mentioned that the JV has had a very successful season. They're coming back. I think you'll see more of a passing game next season. I think you'll see the kicking game. I know that Jason, our old friend who used to do commentary for us, told us that they've got some guys in the kicking department that were on JV that'll be moving up, and that's going to make a big difference. But as we said one more time from Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22, it's indeed been an extremely successful season for the Olympians, but our season was also successful. And let's talk about some of the people, Dave, who helped make it successful for us. Okay, Jose Bravo, Ali Santana, Joe Shoa, Ken Takahashi, Eric Chavez, all on camera. Instant replay, Steve Drazel, graphics, Sherry Ann Greer, Ken Fine down on the field, and of course Lawndale's Channel 22 Sports under the executive production of Mr. Tom Strickfaden. We'll see you for basketball season, fans. So once again, good night and thank you for joining us.